team of researchers, including Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, may have just found a trace of an interstellar object in the ocean, which Loeb believes could have alien origin.
The last remaining territory on the planet that could have such a designation is Antarctica.
Russia, the biggest country in the world, is full of mysterious and fascinating things waiting to be discovered.
Of what appeared to be alien spacecraft at depth under the water.
From infamous lakes to strange monuments, and even the oldest wooden sculpture ever uncovered. However, what Russia just discovered in Antarctica terrifies the whole world. Join us as we unveil the 20 most terrifying things recently discovered in Russia. Number 20. Blue light in Lake Baikal. In 2015, a group of seasoned fishermen experienced something out of the ordinary during a routine fishing trip. They managed to capture video footage of a strange, bright blue-green light glowing beneath the surface of Lake Baikal. This lake is well known for unusual activities, with locals often talking about mysterious happenings in its waters. Journalist MJ Banias shared a story from 1982 when Russian divers reportedly encountered humanoid creatures dressed in shiny silver suits in Lake Baikal. These divers were shocked and faced fatal consequences as they hurried to escape from the depths. Video forensic analyst Michael Primo studied the footage and found no signs of digital manipulation, suggesting the light wasn't created by CGI. Physics professor Michio Kaku ruled out the possibility of the light coming from an external source like a searchlight or the moon, keeping the mystery alive. Marine biologist Shea Congo also concluded that the light couldn't be from bioluminescent marine life, as Lake Baikal is a freshwater body with no known glowing creatures. Congo dismissed the idea that the light came from a human-made underwater research vessel. The experts couldn't figure out exactly what caused the strange light. They guessed it might be some kind of advanced underwater technology that's hard to understand. This event is still a mystery, leaving the door open to the idea that it might be from aliens. 2 years later, researchers were even more baffled when a mysterious mass death of seals happened in the lake. This added even more intrigue and mystery to Lake Baikal. Number 19. Shigar Idol. The oldest wooden sculpture ever found is a really interesting piece of history from the Mesolithic era. This amazing idol, carved about 12,000 years ago, just after the last ice age, has great historical value. It was found in 1890, buried 4 meters deep in a peat bog on the eastern slope of the Middle Urals. When found, the idol was in 10 separate pieces. A skilled professor first put them together, and later in 1914, an archaeologist arranged them into a different pattern. Through careful study and examination, experts figured out how this old artifact was made. They found that 3 different chisels were used to carve it, and surprisingly, one of these chisels was made from the lower jawbone of a beaver with its front teeth sharpened for the job. This find has changed our understanding of ancient human art. Before this idol was found, it was believed that humans started creating ritual art around 9,000 years ago. However, this idol pushes that timeline back by thousands of years, showing new details about humanity's early creativity and artistic efforts. During the Mesolithic era, the idol held importance not just due to its age, but also because it provided a fascinating view into the culture and customs of our ancient forebears. This discovery has enabled researchers to gain deeper insights into the early forms of art and ceremonies practiced by ancient societies, offering us a rare peek into our distant history. Number 18. Lake Kache. Lake Kache, situated in central Russia among the southern Ural Mountains, has a chilling story that unfolded gradually over the years. Initially a calm lake, its fate changed dramatically in 1951 when the Soviet Union made a crucial decision. They opted to use it as a dumping site for radioactive waste from the nearby Mayak nuclear storage and processing facility. This decision was necessary because the lake was too small to be used for cooling purposes. But its small size made it convenient for disposing of highly radioactive materials that couldn't be safely stored underground. Unfortunately, the original plan to use the lake for temporary storage had disastrous consequences. The goal was to eventually return the radioactive material to the Mayak plant, but unexpected events led to a catastrophic outcome. The lake quickly became lethal, becoming one of the most polluted and dangerous places on Earth. Its levels of radioactivity were comparable to those seen in the infamous Chernobyl disaster. Lake Carrick Haze displays the outcome of mishandled nuclear waste, with its effects still noticeable today. Even a short time spent close to the lake could lead to deadly radiation exposure. This makes it a dangerous place to visit, highlighting the worldwide problem of responsibly managing nuclear risks. Despite its dark past, the lake attracts curiosity but should be avoided by adventurous travelers in Russia. It is a serious warning, illustrating humanity's serious mistakes in handling powerful and dangerous technologies. Number 17. The Scary Monument. The monument has always been a place where deep feelings and important social problems are expressed, and this new sculpture is no different. It has a remarkable ability to stir up strong emotions and provoke discussions, showing its strength as a work of art. Whether people find it powerful or too much depends on their views and feelings. The sculpture, "Children Are the Victims of Adult Vices," is particularly fascinating and makes you think deeply. It shows how adults' bad habits affect innocent children, drawing attention to the negative impact these behaviors have on younger generations. Its goal is to make people more aware of how adult actions can shape children's lives and futures. Although the monument's purpose is noble, its dark and ghostly portrayal can be unsettling, especially for young children. Understandably, its unveiling has sparked controversy, as people have different reactions and interpretations of its message. Some argue that its unsettling nature effectively emphasizes the seriousness of the issue, while others question whether it's suitable for public display because it might scare children. Number 16. The Baga Crater. The formation of this hole due to higher temperatures and the collapse of frozen soil is a remarkable and special event. It is now the largest frozen soil hole worldwide, and its size continues to increase as the climate gets warmer. Currently, it stretches at least 1 kilometer long and drops 100 meters deep. The hole keeps growing at a fast rate of about 10 meters each year, causing worries for nearby areas because of frequent landslides. Despite the potential dangers, this occurrence has unexpectedly provided a positive outcome for researchers and scientists. The rapid growth of the hole has revealed a treasure trove of preserved materials. Among these findings are ancient forests, pollen, and the remains of various animals, like muskox, mammoths, horses, and more. These fossils found in the hole offer valuable insights into climate information over a long period from 200,000 to 650,000 years. While the hole's expansion presents a serious problem, the scientific community gains priceless knowledge from these unearthed fossils. This amazing discovery illuminates Earth's past climates, helping researchers better understand the planet's history and potentially gaining insights into how climate change has affected ecosystems over thousands of years. It's a fascinating and somewhat ironic twist that something dangerous has also led to such a significant scientific discovery. Number 15. Frozen Alien. In both the United States and Russia, despite their historical political differences, they have a strong interest in encounters with beings from outer space. One such interesting event happened in Siberia's Amur region on a cold December day. The area was covered in 2 feet of snow and surrounded by thick forests, but had few people. According to local reports, a man was walking his dog when they found a strange 3-foot creature lying in the snow. The creature, described as having dark, grayish skin and no clear facial features, seemed hurt with a missing limb, which made it hard to identify. Witnesses who recorded the scene were sure they had met an extraterrestrial being, adding to the mystery. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time such a creature was said to be seen in Russia. In 1996, a local woman said she found a similar creature in the wild, nicknamed Alos Shenka by the media. Surprisingly, she said the creature was alive when she found it. These sightings keep speculation alive about the chance of beings from outer space visiting Earth. To shed some light on this interesting situation, a team of experts was consulted, starting with field biologist Lucy Eckersley. She quickly dismissed the idea that the creature could be human, pointing out its small size and unique head shape. Instead, Eckersley suggested it might be a primate with unusually long arms, similar to a squirrel monkey. However, the idea of a squirrel monkey in Siberia seemed very unlikely, raising questions about its origin. Could it have escaped from a zoo? As the mystery deepened, forensic investigator Chase Klosky analyzed the video footage and noticed a significant problem. There were no signs of blood or wreckage usually found in crash landings involving aliens. Typically, such events leave behind debris and scorch marks, but the snow around the creature was undisturbed. Klosky concluded that the video was likely a hoax made by people who enjoy creating content about aliens, much to the disappointment of serious UFO researchers. Number 14. Old wooden statues. The recent finding of a hidden path in Peru, with spooky statues dating back 750 years, is a truly amazing discovery. These sacred statues belong to the ancient Chen civilization, a thriving community before the Inca Empire. The path leads to a mysterious ceremonial yard decorated with 19 wooden statues, each about 27 inches tall. These statues show human-like figures holding tools like sickles and maybe shields. The clay masks covering their faces make them look fierce, suggesting they were made to scare away strangers. Turning to another interesting discovery, there's been talk about Russia's recent exploration in Antarctica. There are rumors that they may have found something unexpected, an ancient creature frozen in ice, possibly asleep for thousands of years. The thought of such an old monster or a new species hiding in the unknown depths of Antarctica is enough to give anyone goosebumps. Number 13. Strange Russian radio frequency. For over 5 decades, a curious radio broadcast known as the buzzer has consistently sent out a repetitive sound interrupted by occasional Russian voices. The mystery of where it comes from and what it does has intrigued many fans, including Ryan Sham, who's into radio hobbies and runs a website about it. Investigator Chase Klosky and other experts think the buzzer might be connected to the old Soviet Union. They suggest it might have been used for underwater communication or as part of a nuclear defense system called the Dead Hand Station. This system is based on the idea of mutual destruction. If Russia were ever attacked and badly damaged, stopping the buzzer would automatically trigger a nuclear response against the West. But military expert Tim McMillan doubts the buzzer has anything to do with nuclear weapons, especially since its signals stopped in 2010 without any disasters. He also questions if it could be used for underwater communication because of its high frequency. Some experts, like Dr. Gottesman and McMillan, suggest the buzzer might be a number station. These are used by spy agencies to send secret messages by reading off numbers. It's an old-fashioned but effective way for deep-cover spies to get instructions safely without using modern digital methods. Despite these ideas, no one knows for sure what the buzzer is really for. It might still be an active Russian number station, or it might just be using its frequency as a placeholder. Whatever its real job is, the buzzer remains a fascinating mystery that interests fans around the world, making everyone want to find out more clues. Number 12. The Dancing Forest. In a distant part of Russia, there's a mysterious forest where the trees seem to move and sway in ways that defy scientific understanding. This magical place is located on the Curonian Spit in Kaliningrad, Russia, a small area of pine forest covering just 8 square meters. This region is not only a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but also lies snugly between the Baltic Sea and the Curonian Lagoon. What makes this forest truly interesting is its unusual geological makeup. The Curonian Spit itself is a narrow strip of land formed over time by shifting dunes and remains of ancient glaciers. The soil here is notably porous and rich in sand and clay, which has helped the growth of a unique ecosystem full of diverse plants and wildlife. This combination of rare geological factors has created a special place unlike any other, where nature thrives in ways that continue to fascinate scientists and visitors alike. In the 1960s, trees were planted in this forest to steady the moving sands of the dunes here. Before World War II, this area was used as a gliding school by Nazi Germany. The unusual shapes of the trees have given this place the name Dancing Forest. Unlike the evenly spaced trees, the ones in this dancing forest twist into various forms. Some trees grow into knots, loops, hearts, and even intricate spirals that bend toward the ground. Other trees have curved or bent trunks, some twisted or curled into circles, reaching upwards in search of the sky. These shapes create an illusion that the trees are dancing. Over time, the dancing forest has intrigued scientists and sparked curiosity. Many studies have tried to explain why the trees grow in such strange ways, but the answers remain unclear. Experts suggest that several factors may contribute to these odd shapes. Yet, the exact cause of the tree distortions remains a mystery. One theory suggests that caterpillars of the pine shoot moth may harm the trees early in their growth, causing them to develop with unusual angles and shapes. These caterpillars, scientifically known as Rhyachionia booliana, feed on the developing buds of pine trees, disrupting their growth. When the main bud is damaged, growth continues from the remaining side buds. As these trees reach for sunlight, they adjust their growth upwards, but their unique shapes persist as a distinctive feature. In the heart of this forest, there's a belief that the trees here have been trained to twist and turn in unusual ways. Throughout history, humans have mastered the art of shaping trees for both practical and artistic reasons. It's said that a young tree can be guided to grow differently simply by placing a heavy object on its trunk for a long time. Like all plants, these trees naturally grow towards sunlight, a process known as phototropism. Whether intentionally shaped or not, this bending towards the sun can alter the tree's physical makeup. Legend has it that the strange dancing forest may owe its mystery to geological forces. The trees appear to move along with the shifting sands, which unsettles the soil beneath them. Another popular theory suggests that strong winds, a regular feature of the region, may play a role in sculpting these trees over time. Alternatively, some speculate that seismic activity or underground water sources could be causing the trees to contort. And for others, the explanation could lie in factors like nuclear radiation or geomagnetic fields affecting the tree's growth patterns. Number 11. A prehistoric virus. The finding of an old virus, particularly the pathovirus Sibericum, in the frozen ground of Siberia, is an impressive and fascinating discovery. This huge virus, with its large size and many genes, was found after being frozen deep in the ice for about 30,000 years. It was preserved with other frozen organisms. Although this virus does not currently pose a threat to humans or other animals, scientists are interested in what such discoveries could mean. The ability of these viruses to survive in frozen ground for thousands of years raises important questions about how changes in climate and human activities, such as drilling in Siberia, could affect these old pathogens. There is concern that as the frozen ground thaws due to higher temperatures, viruses that are unknown or potentially harmful could be released into the environment. Scientists are closely watching these developments to understand better the risks associated with old viruses reappearing due to environmental changes. While there is no immediate need to worry about the specific virus found in the Siberian frozen ground, this discovery shows how important it is to study and protect against the possible effects of global climate change on our planet and its ecosystems. Number 10. Petrified animal mummification. In 2011, a small village in Russia was shaken by a big explosion. Afterward, a local farmer went out to find out why and found something amazing: the remains of a creature that no one had ever seen there before. The creature looked like it was frozen in ice, with strange features that amazed and interested everyone who saw it. To add to the mystery, there was footage showing the creature placed near drying corn. Local stories like tales of Baba Yaga, a witch with legs like a chicken who was said to hunt children, made people in the community even more scared and curious about where the creature came from. Investigative journalist Aaron McCarthy pointed out that as the ice in Russia melts, it's revealing extinct animals, like mammoths and rhinos. He suggested that this creature might also be a species that no one has discovered before. Forensic analyst Mike W. carefully studied the footage and confirmed that the creature was real, not a trick, and might have changed over time. Biologist Floyd Hayes thought the creature's skull looked like a mammal's, similar to a big fruit bat, even though those bats aren't found in Russia. This raised more questions about what the creature was. Even though experts couldn't say for sure what kind of creature it was without more scientific tests, they thought it might be an extinct species that used to live in Russia. With the Arctic warming up quickly, more strange creatures might come out of the ice, which could lead to exciting discoveries in the future. Number 9. The Pomsky Crater. The Pomsky Crater, also called Konus Kolpakova, or the Kolpakov Cone, is an interesting rock formation located in the Bodaibo district of southeastern Siberia, about 360 kilometers from Bodaibo, the district center. Situated in the thick forest of the Patom Highlands, it appears as a large mound made of broken limestone blocks. The crater has a bottom width of about 160 meters and rises to approximately 40 meters tall. At its top, there's a distinctive ring-shaped crown, with a smaller mound in the middle reaching around 12 meters tall. The crater's size is estimated to be between 230,000 and 250,000 cubic meters, weighing about 1 million tons. Discovered in 1949 by Russian geologist Vadim Kolpakov, although already known to local people, the Pomsky crater has fascinated scientists due to its unclear origins. Various ideas, such as meteorite impact, volcanic activity, and gas emissions have been suggested, but none have been conclusively proven. Dendrochronology suggests the crater is around 300 years old. Initially, some scientists thought the crater might be a leftover from a very dense meteorite that buried itself on impact, or possibly a fragment of the Tunguska meteorite. Another idea suggested it could be due to an underground gas eruption. Despite several scientific expeditions, exactly how it formed remains a mystery. A study by V.S. Antipin and A.M. Fedorov argued, based on its shape, structure, and chemical evidence, that the crater's volcanic origin is more probable. They pointed to weathered, broken rocks, the crater's shape resembling volcanic cones, the absence of anomalies in geochemistry caused by cosmic radiation, and its layered age zones as evidence against the meteorite idea. According to their findings, the cone formed quickly because of the sudden release of deep fluids, CO2 and H2O, and gases, CO and H2. Number 8. Woolly rhinos. The recent rediscovery of a once-dead species of rhinoceros, which lived in Europe and North Asia from 40,000 to 8,000 years ago, stands as a remarkable achievement. Ancient civilizations drew these impressive creatures in caves and on pottery until they mysteriously disappeared. The exact reasons for their extinction remain a hot topic among scientists, with ideas ranging from too much hunting to climate change and possible diseases. An impressive example of this extinct rhinoceros was found in Siberia and Ukraine, amazingly well preserved with much of its original features still there. This discovery has revealed the rhino's thick brown skin and even fur, giving new information about their physical characteristics and how they adapted over time. The individual found in Siberia and Ukraine appears to have fallen into a hole in the ground, where it got stuck and stayed well preserved for thousands of years. This unique discovery offers important insights into the ancient environment and the lives of these now extinct rhinoceroses. It gives researchers key pieces of information, improving our understanding of the natural history of the area and adding a lot to the bigger story of Earth's past. Number 7. Poor Bajan. The mysterious island, located in a lake in southern Siberia near the Mongolian border, has puzzled historians for many years. Found about 100 years ago, its real purpose and beginnings are still unclear, causing many theories and guesses. This old island community, dating back around 1,300 years based on carbon dating, looks like an old fort, which raises interesting questions about why it was built in such a faraway place. Hints and objects found on the island suggest possible influences from Mongolia or China. Some think it might have been a Mongolian outpost or even a Chinese jail. Despite these interesting hints, solid details about the island and its past are hard to find. In 2007, both Vladimir Putin and Prince Albert of Monaco visited the island, attracted by its mysterious appeal. They talked about its confusing nature, yet despite this attention from important people, the true identity and purpose of the island remain unknown. This historical puzzle interests historians and researchers who stay captivated and eager to reveal the secrets of this old and isolated community. Number 6. Moon UFO in Moscow. In May 2019, a photographer in Moscow, Russia, filmed strange black round shapes moving across the entire moon. More of these shapes appeared in the video, flying together loosely. This video caused a lot of talk about what these shapes could be: drones, alien spaceships, or even asteroids. Astrophotographer Andrew McCarthy guessed that these shapes would need to be 2 to 3 miles wide if they were circling the moon, much bigger than any known Earth satellites, including the International Space Station. Astronomer Mark D'Antonio confirmed the video's authenticity and rejected the idea of unusually large satellites orbiting the moon. NASA's Bob Anderson first thought they might be satellites, but he noticed their strange movements that didn't match how satellites usually move. After a closer look, both Anderson and D'Antonio saw that the shapes came close together and then spread out, suggesting a different explanation. In the end, they decided that the shapes were probably migrating birds. Birds in flight can look around on camera sensors, seeming like solid objects. Even though people were excited at first about possible UFOs or asteroids, the video showed a sighting of migrating birds. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. What Russia just discovered in Antarctica terrifies the whole world. In the far-off Siberian wilderness, Dr. Elena Petrovich and her team of archaeologists dug up an old, frost-covered tomb. Inside, they found a coffin sealed with detailed carvings showing scary figures and mysterious symbols. As they forced it open, a blast of cold air chilled them to the bone. Within the coffin lay a perfectly preserved, 7-foot-tall human-like creature with long limbs and sharp, icy blue eyes that seemed to follow them. Suddenly, the creature's eyes flickered to life. Panic set in as the tomb began to shake, and an eerie wail filled the air. The ground split open, revealing more of the evil beings encased in ice. Elena's heart raced as she realized they had awakened an ancient supernatural army. With each passing second, the ice melted and the creatures moved. Desperation gripped the team as they fled the site, the chilling cries of the undead echoing behind them. What do you think will happen next with these ancient creatures? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Number 5. Hybrid Neanderthal girl. Denny, known scientifically as Denisova 11, is a fossil that dates back around 90,000 years. She belonged to a young girl who was a mix of Neanderthal and Denisovan ancestry, estimated to be about 13 years old when she lived. Remarkably, Denny stands as the only known example of a first-generation hybrid between these ancient human species. Discovered in 2012 at the Denisova Cave in the Altai Mountains of Russia, Denny's remains are quite humble, a single fossilized piece of bone. This bone fragment was found among more than 2,000 other fragments that were too damaged to visually identify without careful examination. Today, modern humans still have traces of their DNA, showing that these groups interbred in the past. European populations tend to have more Neanderthal DNA, while Asian populations tend to have more Denisovan DNA. This genetic legacy has interesting implications for some modern populations. For example, Tibetans have inherited a significant number of genes from the Denisovans, which might have helped them adapt to living in high altitudes. Similarly, Greenland's indigenous peoples also carry Denisovan DNA, possibly helping them adapt to that environment. The discovery of the first Denisovan Neanderthal hybrid resulting from interbreeding is particularly fascinating. Despite being genetically compatible, these ancient humans had distinct physical and cultural differences that made them unique in their way. Number 4. Fort Zverev. Fort Zverev is a fascinating old fort with a strange and spooky history. Its unique mushroom-shaped design sets it apart from other forts built in the 1870s. Over the years, it has changed a lot, serving as a storage place for sea mines, a spot for storing ammo, and a place for military training, even after World War II. But the most important thing that ever happened was there was a huge fire in the basement, where they kept a substance like napalm. This fire burned incredibly hot, over 2,000 degrees Celsius, and it melted the fort's bricks. After the fire, the fort looked eerie, with fake red brick stalactites that made it seem like a forge. Photos of Fort Zverev might show a surreal scene, but it's a fascinating place for history fans and anyone who likes mysterious spots. If you're nearby, checking out this unique fort would be a really interesting experience, letting you see its strange past and the marks left by the fire that changed how it looks forever. Number 3. Lake Vostok. In 2012, Russian scientists made an incredible breakthrough. They managed to drill through the thick ice to reach Lake Vostok's ancient waters. Their mission was to collect samples that could reveal information about past climates and the possibility of life in extreme conditions. The results were amazing. The expedition discovered a wide variety of microbes, many of which were completely new to science. These unique life forms have survived in complete isolation, enduring freezing temperatures, constant darkness, and immense pressure, conditions that are usually deadly for living things. The discovery of these Lake Vostok microbes raises many questions. As global temperatures rise and glaciers melt, there is a risk that these ancient organisms could be released into the oceans, potentially disrupting modern ecosystems. There are also concerns about the impact these microbes could have on human health. While the idea of a catastrophic outbreak like in Michael Crichton's Andromeda strain might seem far-fetched. Number 2. The Alos Shenka in Kishtim. In early August 1996, Detective Vladimir Bendlin, a police officer investigating a robbery in Kishtim, Russia, made a surprising discovery. A local woman showed him a strange creature she called Alos Shenka. It was about 10 inches long without hair, with brownish-gray skin, and a peculiar skull with ridges and protruding eyes. The woman said she found Alos Shenka near a cemetery several weeks earlier. Her family took care of it until it died. Initially thought to be a human fetus, further examination by a doctor revealed confusing details. It had no ears, nose, genitals, and notably no belly button. There was speculation that Alos Shenka might be a deformed fetus affected by fallout from a nuclear disaster in 1957 near Kishtim, which released a radioactive cloud over nearby villages. Detective Bendlin even took the specimen to investigators who study unidentified flying objects, UFOs. But the case took a strange turn when Alos Shenka disappeared mysteriously. The remaining evidence includes videos and photos of Alos Shenka. Experts have debated various theories, from it being an alien specimen to a mummified baby due to ancient practices or radiation effects. The woman who found Alos Shenka was eventually sent to a mental institution. Based on video evidence, experts think Alos Shenka is likely a mummified baby. However, without a recovered body or DNA testing, the true nature of this creature remains uncertain, making it a lasting mystery. Number 1. The Lena Stone Pillars. The remote forest of stone pillars along the Lee River is a breathtaking natural wonder. It showcases towering rock formations that date back around 500 million years to the Cambrian period. These impressive pillars soar to heights between 150 and 300 meters. They have been sculpted by layers of limestone, marlstone, dolomite, and slate, shaped over millennia due to their age and isolation. This unique site, the Forest of Pillars, not only captivates with its beauty, but also holds invaluable insights into Earth's ancient past. Fossilized remains of ancient organisms found here provide significant clues about the diverse life that flourished 500 million years ago. Though reaching this site may require a challenging journey, the experience is well worth it. Even through photographs, one can appreciate the magnificence of this geological treasure. Exploring this extraordinary natural landscape promises an unforgettable adventure for those fortunate enough to visit. Which of these terrifying discoveries in Russia did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section.